Yes, people, myself TS, welcome back to another NoFilterTS. In this one, just talking about Kaba, and everyone knows the situation with him, being murdered by the police, and there's been an ongoing investigation and inquest into this. Recently the family got to see the body cam footage. They were requesting for justice, and as part of the inquest now, it's come out to say that he was followed by an unmarked police car that didn't do their sirens or anything. So the original story about a shooting following a police chase is nonsense. So there was never any police chase. He was followed by an unmarked car, and no matter what people would try to say, oh, he was alleged to be someone in trouble or whatnot. Like, of course, anyone's not going to stop for some random car following behind them. See me, I ain't got no problems with no one. I work, I'm a family man, got my kids, etc. But if any cars follow me for a certain period of time, I'd feel a certain way as well. You might try to take certain turn-offs on that, but if the car's still following you, you're going to think, what on earth is going on? Like, it would have been easier for the officers to put lights on, but at the same time, they say apparently, he wasn't even suspected of anything. So it's like, what are you following him around for? And that's like, when certain people, that's, not directing this at Chris, but in general, there's certain people that get into, trouble with the police. They're known by the police for some silly stuff they're doing in their area, and I'm not condoning it. But when some of these people come out and say, like, they're being harassed by the police will chase them, the police will try to beat them up, all this sort of stuff, people don't take their point as serious because they think of, oh, but what are you doing in the community which is making the police come at you? But, things like this go to show, like, so these officers are just following them around for no reason. Mentally that's messing with someone's head as to, why am I being followed? Because when you're being, when you're being followed, even if a car just come in the same direction as you for a period of time. Like, I've had it, this car's been behind me for a period of time. It'll get to a point in time, we'll get to traffic lights, they pull up alongside me. It might all be like some old man or something. I'm like, this guy followed me. There's nothing to follow me about anyways. But yeah, these sort of things happen in the communities with the police doing up stupidness. Even like when I was younger and that, and like there'll be police that will, come by and say, oh, you ain't gonna make it out to be nothing in life, stop and search, all this sort of stuff. I remember I was telling my mum used to think, cool, whatever. She probably thought, yeah, whatever, son. I hear you, but there's no evidence of it until one day she saw we were walking somewhere, but I was just slightly bit ahead of her. She saw literally the unmarked police car pull up in front of me, basically toot me, told me to F off and drove off. And she was like, oh, who's that? And I was like, oh, it's police. She was like, huh? Police? I was like, yeah. So she learned from that. So, there's a lot of weird stuff that's going on in the communities with the Metropolitan Police. And, a lot of these officers need to be held to account for, this silliness they're doing. Now, at the end of the day, that's just the facts of the matter, Someone's life has been taken here, justice is required for what's happened here. And it's not even now just on the officer that, fired the fatal shot. It's the officer with him. It's however many officers were in the car following, because why are you following for any reason? It's whether they're, whoever supervises them, it comes down on everyone, because if these guys are put out on duty, remember this is nighttime as well, really and truly, there's not much for you to be driving around at nighttime for, realistically, unless you're doing some sort of obbo, which you say, oh, you didn't suspect him or nothing, so he couldn't have been the obbo. So what is it then? So, to me, there's a lot of people that need to be held to account to this. The person that fired the fatal shot, there's no, he's suspended until, no, like, you need to be charged for murder, because at the end of the day, you've killed someone, someone's lost their life off the back of you lot's actions. If you lot pulled him over, potentially things would have gone a completely different way. And when I last spoke about Chris Kaba in a separate video, I said, for a country that officers talk about how much taser this, taser that they have all the time, I never see them want to use the tasers or the rubber bullet thing. It's always, he's been shot now. It's like, what? What's your, other alternatives? Like, surely there's other alternatives before it gets to that, really. So I think the officers are just too trigger happy, and action needs to be taken against them ASAP. So yeah, once again, condolences out to Chris Kaba's family. I think it's absolutely disgusting, for this sort of thing to be happening. And the sad thing is, I think a lot of people aren't even surprised to find out that there was no police chase, but they will try to cover it up quickly and say, oh, there's a police chase. Like that should have, the other officer, part of officers that were following his car, could have nipped that in the bud from day one and said, no, there's no police chase, we're just following. It shouldn't have taken this long for an inquest to determine that there was actually no police chase. So yeah, just goes to show how slimy, disgusting these people are, and they'll do what they possibly can to try to cover up for their wrongdoings. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on it all in the comment section below, and if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button now, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.